Alright guys, today we're going to be going into a guide for how to play Earth. We're going to be going over first all the moves, what you should use them for, and then we're going to go into play styles and all that stuff, and then we're going to go into techniques and ultimates, and then just tips and common mistakes that people make. I won't be going over lava just because I haven't actually played it a whole lot, or at least not enough to know really how to play it and such. Most of the time I've only played it to mess around by spamming like lava moves. So let's go right into it, starting with, like I said, just how to know to do all the moves and what you should really be using them for. So boulder, you're just going to hold the trigger, wall in the earth, which means like your hand is pointed down. If you can see that little dot, if that is in the earth, then you can earth bend, and you just pull up. This will give you a boulder that'll do 3 damage. Uncharged, and then charged it will do 4, so a little bit more damage to have it charged. I would suggest that. Boulder is really only used for just like a quick hit. That's really it. I don't really ever use it unless like I just need to throw it out, or some dude is super low health and you throw out a couple. I know that seems like spamming, but sometimes spamming works. Like if he's super low and I just throw out a couple of boulders, eventually one of them's going to hit, and it's going to be good, deal some damage. Other times I use this, someone's in the air, just to quickly throw it at them. Because, you know, if you're in the air and I throw one, they go pretty high. They're pretty easy to throw, just like throwing a baseball or something. Like, you just kind of toss them out. You can also do that. I wouldn't recommend it because you can't even aim at all. I would also recommend charging them up occasionally, because charging them up, you get extra damage, they get bigger, just generally good. Earth wall, so you do the same thing, both triggers in the earth, and you pull up. This will give you an uncharged wall, which before you get any other ones, pulling it up on someone is only going to deal 2.5, or I thought it dealt 3, I guess 2.5, okay, yeah. And then charged, you're going to be getting 4. And it won't break upon making. These are good for obviously building a wall. So someone's throwing something at you, it's going to block that. Unless it deals enough damage, then it will break it. You can also, actually you won't be able to do that yet. So forget that. You can push them forward to deal damage. It's not great, although I will suggest if you're using Earth Wall and you are fighting like a Combustion Bender or something with splash damage, you can throw them out like that and it'll go a lot further than that, because this you will get hit by the blast, that you will not. So what you're gonna do is when you pull it up, you're gonna, instead of like bringing it all the way back, because if you bring it all the way back you're gonna end up punching it, which is not good, you're just going to pull up and then toss it kind of like that. You kind of just like a gentle back enough that you can push forward, and then you just push it forward and then they will hit that and you won't take blast damage. Same with charged, you do the same thing, don't hit it. It's a lot harder to do with charged just because it's so much bigger, and a lot of times you are just going to do that. Earth walls will be really good for later, and I'll explain why. But next we're going to get into the spear and the saw. So you're going to grab a boulder, and then you're going to click your grip. That'll change it into a spear. Do it again, you get a saw. Do it again, go back to boulder, cycling through. These are really good because, like the boulder, they're just a quick little pick it up, throw it, deal some damage. This one, spear, 4 damage. Unless, is there body damage? Okay, didn't know that. Really? Huh. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, this will deal 4 bars. The saw will actually deal the exact same amount. The only difference is saw is a little bit easier to hit just because it's a lot wider versus this, where you really have to like be really cautious with it. Oh, it's a speed thing. Okay, I'm tripping. I don't know. Anyway, these are once again just good to hit them, especially spear, because spear, as you can see, goes much further. So this is really one of the only long range capabilities that you have. Charged up though, it does deal quite a bit. 5, that is really good. So I would definitely suggest throwing on a couple of these in your moves, because they just deal quite a lot of damage, and you can actually cheese it, and it's super difficult to do. I cannot do it. I don't really know how people do it, but you can like fly around. And then Earth Wall Detach, you're gonna pull up a wall, click the grip on one of your hands, and you will detach a wall, and you can throw it. This is why I mentioned walls are really good, because throwing walls, not only are you going to be, oh, I have one of the techniques on. I shall remove that and then show you the actual damage. I totally forgot about that. Okay, yeah, so it'll do 3 bar uncharged and then 5 bar charged. Maybe that's 6. Hold on, let me see. Crazy. Okay. That is 5. Okay, yes. 5 bar charged. So Earth Wall Detach, very good, because not only can you block it with this, so someone's in the air, you can hold it up and block stuff, but you can also throw it and do stasis, which I will teach you all later. But just know you can, and there's a lot of really good things you can do with this. This is also good for being able to jump up and then grab it and throw it, which to jump up, you're going to start with your Earth Wall, and then you're going to pull it directly under you. And this will how you will jump up straight up. And then while you're flying, you're just going to detach it and throw it. This is really good. And I use it a ton. This is actually what my playstyle is, which I'll get into later. But you can also do retreating with walls, which is called wall surfing, where you bring up a wall and you pull it towards yourself. This is really good if you need to quickly get out of the way from someone's ultimate or something like that. You can also do it behind you to push yourself forward, like that. That was a really good example. And then you also have forward jumping, which same thing as normal jumping, where you pull it from under you, but instead of doing it directly, you're going to do it a little bit behind you and pull it up like that. And it's going to launch you, and once you get really good at that, that is a really good way to advance on someone, because for different play styles, depending on if you're in the air or not, you're going to be dealing more or less damage. Next up, we got Earth Punch, which you pull up an Earth Wall, and you can punch it. This is really good for if you need quick damage, and Boulder, they are blocking them, or they're doing something to break them, or they're just really good at dodging. You can pull them up, quickly throw it. This is also good if you're doing Earth Wall retreating and you punch it after, because now if they're following you, then you can pull it up and punch them and then deal some damage. I believe it does just normal damage for Earth Walls. I don't think it does anything special. Yeah, it's just normal damage. Nothing cool, nothing special. You just get to punch things. You can also do this with normal Earth things, even though I have never in my life ever seen someone do that, and I don't really know why you would, unless you're playing maybe like baseball by yourself. But even then, I would probably just like throw it like that. So Earth Punch is really good. Next up we got Earth Pillar, which is just your double jump. You just make a pillar, pretty simple. You just double tap and you get it. This, however, actually does have a lot of implications that I use, such as if I need just a quick little burst of mobility, you can jump and then pull it from under you, and you'll move a little bit. It's not the best. You can also throw it by just doing that. Grab it and then move your arm in a circular way, so you can throw it out from under you. You can also detach these if you wish. I don't know why you really would, other than mix up, but I'd much rather just Earth Wall it, like do that and then just jump. Or even like, I don't know. There's not many implications of doing that, but I do that occasionally. Next up, we got Earth Spikes. So, you're gonna hold your fist at the ground, hold the trigger so that you have like your earth bending, and then, oh, that's actually gonna make Earth Trap. You're gonna make sure it doesn't charge, because if it charge, you're gonna do Earth Trap instead of Earth Spikes. And you're gonna push it forward and release while still in the ground. So instead of, because if you don't let go too fast or too soon or early enough, you're just gonna create a boulder, and then you're not gonna deal Earth Spike. So Earth Spike is really good. There are so many. So you can, they go through walls. So if someone's getting too aggressive with you, you can put up a wall, throw out a couple, and then they just lost half their health. Later on, with Earth Trap, I'm not gonna explain it right now, but you could hit them with that, and then while they're stunned, you could absolutely destroy their health. I do this a lot. It's also good just because of the range. You don't think it would have a ton of range, but that's quite a bit of range. You have a lot of range to do this. And so even if like you jump at someone, you know, you use that move and then you do that, like you're gonna get some extra damage in. So it's pretty good. I like using Earth Spikes, 3 bar, so the same as a boulder, an uncharged, but the difference is you can spam them really fast and you can't dodge them really. Like they happen so fast that you're not really gonna be able to dodge them a ton, versus like that versus just you will get fatigue, which is not good, and how you know actually you're using too many moves. And then we got next up Earth Hammer. This is my favorite move by far. It deals, what was that, 4 bar? Yeah, 4 bar, so one of the more damaging moves. It deals splash damage, if I can do it right. As you can see, it knocks people back. Yeah, right there. It didn't actually hit him, but it did hit something near him, so he took splash damage. It can also push back people. You can also slam it against the ground to do that. It's really good. I would heavily suggest learning how to throw them really well, which I'll teach you in a second. So what you're gonna do, both triggers while close together. So the same as, you know, making a trigger, hold the triggers, and you'll grab them. You can let go of one, and you'll still hold it. I wouldn't recommend doing that, just because it's easier to just not think about, okay, make one, let go of one, make one, let go of one, instead of just make it, throw it, make it, throw it. So how you're gonna throw it, you're gonna hold it, and you're going to flick like this. So you're gonna bring your hands back, and then flick. This will give it spin, because if you just push it, it's a lot harder to hit than just throwing out those. I know I just missed 2, the exact same amount as this, but just trust me. If you're in the air and you are doing this, you're a lot more likely to hit stuff. Next up, you got Earth Hands. So these are gonna be one of your main mobilities. You're gonna take a boulder and pull it towards your hand, just like this. You can also do it straight out of the ground, or you just do this, and then you might be a little confused on like, what do I do with them? You can throw them. That deals damage. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna press the grips, and they will go away from your body. It does not matter what the orientation of the hands are. They will always go in the same direction unless you move your arms. And then when they hit, you're like, oh, are they just like a weird grapple? While they are stuck to something, you can push off, and you will move. So these are actually really great for just moving in general, because as you can see, they're really good. You can very quickly swap directions. You can climb stuff. This is how you're going to be getting back on stage, especially in chessboard, because you can climb stuff. So it's very nice. You can also like go up to someone and throw them, and they will deal 3 bar, right? 3 bar? Yes, 3 bar. You can hit them for, I think, yeah, a lot more damage. So you could like jump up to someone and then hit them a bunch. Pushing them or touching them with them does also deal damage. So you can do that. And I don't believe you will actually lose stamina for this. So you can like just spam this. I wouldn't recommend it because you're not going to be dealing as much damage as like Earth Spikes or Earth Wall or the Aerial Earth Wall, which actually deals the same amount of damage unless you have the one I had on. And next up, you got Earth Trap. So this is the same as Earth Spikes. You're going to hold your hand till it fully charges, and then you're going to push it. And when you get hit with an Earth Trap, you're going to get stunned for a second. This also will happen to like Earth Walls, and it won't happen to mine because it's mine. But if it was someone else's, it would activate it, and they will get hit by it. This also happens with other projectiles. But it's very good. It only deals 2 bar, so you're not going to be dealing a ton of damage. And only the original one will actually stun. So if I throw out one, and then I throw out like another, and another, and another, none of those will do anything until that first one is gone, and a little bit after. So probably now, that's when you would be able to hit it, and reactivate the stun. But this is really good. Especially for just draining health, because you could throw out 2, hit them, and then spam it, and before they can even get out, they've already lost so much health that you are in a giant advantage. One downside of that is while you are spamming, they can still attack, so be careful with that. Don't always use it. Use it really as like a, I have 3 stock, they have 1, I just want to get this over with. Kamikaze, you know, because you're going to take a lot of damage. Otherwise, what I would suggest doing is you hit them, and then build a Earth Spear and chuck it, because that'll get you, you know, pretty good damage. That's pretty good. And then you can also throw in like 2 more boulders for extra damage. So yeah, that one's really good. Earth Armor. So this one is really weird. So like Hammer, you can do the same thing, holding both triggers, but you need to get them away so that they're not making a hammer. And then it will make Earth Armor, and then you'll take less damage. As you can see, you'll move a lot slower. And a little tip for you, click it once, gone. A lot of people don't notice, and it will change your life. Because if I'm accidentally creating hammers and I don't even notice I just did this, and now I'm super slow and I can barely move, one click on the earth, gone. And next up, we have Ground Slam. So just like Earth Armor, exact same thing. The only difference is you have to be in the air. And when you slam down, you deal lots of damage. I believe the higher you are, actually, the more damage it deals. Maybe? Nope. Okay, so 5 bar. And that can be as simple... Oh, yeah, 3 versus, like, 5. So, yeah, really good. So, if you ever, like, go up in the air, you're throwing stuff, you're throwing hammers, and someone's, like, below you, just start Ground Slam. It'll deal some extra damage. So, yeah, that one's really good. Using it whenever people are just below you. Yeah, that's pretty much all the moves. So now we are going to go into, oh, what did I say? Playstyles. That's right. So playstyles are connected with techniques, which I'm gonna just quickly turn this back on just so I don't forget to do it later in a match. So we're gonna go over general playing of Earth, and then we're gonna go into the 2 main like play styles of Earth. So first up, Earth, something to note is it is very high burst mobility and high burst damage. What I mean by that is, oh, why was I like British there? What I mean by that is you're not going to be moving at like a constant speed. A lot of it, like you see, you jump up, you know, and then you kind of fall, and then you can like Earth slide, and then you're kind of done, and an Earth slide, and like you're not going to be moving as consistent as like water or fire or even air, honestly. Because you just don't really have anything that's like consistent moving other than Earth Hands. But even then, it's like you slow down, grab, and you're fast again. Then you slow down and you grab. So a lot of your mobility is just going to be a high burst of really fast speed, and then that's it. And the same with damage. You don't have a lot of moves that are very like spam heavy, other than obviously Earth Spike, because you can do that so fast. But a lot of your damage is going to be just like you take out like 6 chunks of their health in one move, and then you follow it up with something that takes out the rest. You know, like you're going to be dealing a lot of damage in a really short period of time. Not like fire. Actually, fire is kind of also high burst damage, but not like air or water where you're going to be hitting them a lot, but they're going to be taking a ton of damage. So you got to be wary about that, because if that's not your playstyle, if you like just slinging stuff like crazy and hitting them, and you're not dealing a ton of damage. But like if you like machine gun playstyle where you're just always firing stuff out and always hitting, Earth is not for you. But if you like the ones where it's like you run, turn, shoot, and then you run, turn, shoot, this is definitely for you, because that's pretty much what you do. You back off, hit them once, back off, kind of retreat a little, see what they do, and then maybe go back in. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe not. Okay, well, okay, now they're defenseless. Okay, let's go. You know, that's kind of what you do. As you just saw, I totally did the wrong playstyle, what I should have shown you. So for general Earth, your mobilities are going to be, once again, Earth sliding, or Earth surfing, Earth jumping, and there's also something I made up. I don't know what to call it yet. I probably like air or Earth triple jumping, where you would pull up one and then you'd hit yourself with the wall while you're in the air. This is good if you need extra height. So you can crash down worse, I guess. Or if you jump forward and you're like, crap, I did not mean to do that. I meant to jump. Or if you jump up and you're like, crap, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to jump forward. You'd be like, oh no, okay. And then you could push yourself forward, or vice versa. You jump forward and you're like, I need to get back, because they just threw something at me. You could do that, or just go up. Up is also a very good option because it throws people off, but you're also in the air for longer, which is not good, because if you noticed, there's nothing in the air that I can bend. So two things you can do: hammer or crash. There's nothing else you can do. So Earth is going to be on the ground for the most part, unless you're playing the aerial playstyle, which I'll get into. But that's the general gist of Earth. You're going to be dealing high damage in a very short period of time, and then backing off for a little, seeing what they're doing, trying to predict a little. You're going to be also doing high burst mobility, so you're not going to be moving at a constant rate. People are going to be it's going to be really hard for people to follow you, and they're not really going to hit you a ton. You also have the best defense out of any of them. As you can see, I can build a wall and you're not hitting me. You know, I could build a bigger wall and you're definitely not hitting me. And then I could use that wall to hit you. So like, you're going to be high defense, but you don't have a ton of movement. So that's kind of the trade-off. And now we're going to get into the two main play styles. There is ground, where, as you could have guessed, you're on the ground more, and aerial, where you are in the air more. I will say air is a lot more flashy, but a lot of time aerial can be a lot worse, because I'll actually play the clip right now. I get way too offensive in it, and I start going in like crazy and I just die. That is not good, and that is something I do a lot as an aerial player, because I jump in and I'm like, okay, I gotta hit him with this wall, and then it misses or it does hit, but trade-off, I take way more damage. So we're going to get into the first one, which is ground. I haven't played this one a ton, so I'm not going to go too far into it. And this Rhino is going to be our little helper here. Yeah, he's going to be in a lot of pain. But ground is a lot more defensive. You're going to be blocking a lot, hitting stuff, doing a lot more predictions. Your best friend is going to be charging up. And then throwing them. You're going to want to always make sure that you're making spears. Rarely do you need a boulder, unless you need to just hit someone real fast. Other things ground players are going to be doing is they will jump, because they'll tip ahead of time. Play both. Like, don't stick to one for the entire match. Like, if I'm ground, go in the air occasionally, because being predictable is going to allow your opponent to parry. It's going to allow them to predict you. And overall, you're going to be a way worse player if you're not doing mix-ups. Other things Earth players need to be weary of is when people get in your face, you're going to have to back off, because as a ground player, you're not going to be as offensive or offensive capable, oh, voice crack there, as an aerial player, where like if someone gets too close to me, I could just jump, and then now I'm in my preferred domain and they're going to be the one taking damage. Whereas ground, I need to back off, so that I can hit them with my moves. I can earth trap them, and then if I hit them, I can like move in. That was more of an aerial play style there, but you're going to be mainly on the ground. Earth armor could work in your favor here. It really just depends on how good you are at parrying and blocking and all that, because you're going to be getting hit more because you're just not moving a ton. I will say you should be charging your walls up, especially if you're a ground player, because that high defensive capabilities is really good. Like if someone all of a sudden tries to hit me, I can block it, throw this up, and then, you know, charge up stuff, hit him from behind, move this so it doesn't go away. You know, keep hitting, throw out earth spears, earth saws if you need, pull this up. I would definitely suggest keeping a wall around because it allows you to be more defensive and you're not going to be moving a ton. But I will say don't just stop moving, because once you stop moving, you're like this rhino. I can just throw rocks at you. I can do weird combos on you. Like, there's nothing stopping me from just killing you. And so if you're moving, like these drones over here, although their movements aren't the best and I could still very easily hit them, they are harder to hit because they are simply moving. Yet again, they aren't like blocking or really dashing or anything like that, but they are moving. So I definitely suggest, even though you're a ground player and you're more defensive, keep moving. It's going to help you a lot. And now we're going to move on to aerial, which I'll be explaining a lot more because I know a lot more. I play it a ton. It's really all I do. I don't play ground really ever. The only time I play it is if zone is closing in and I'm in zone and my opponent is not, and I'm throwing out earth walls and everything I can to keep them out. Earth hammers, earth wall, and then an earth hammer, so I get double damage. All that stuff. Which is why it's so good, because you have that high defensive and you can just keep people out of where you want to be. Aerial though, is not like that. It is very offense heavy. You're going to be dealing, I would assume, more damage. I haven't played ground enough to really decide, but from what I have learned, you can tell me I'm wrong or something. But aerial players are going to be dealing more damage, but they're also going to be receiving a lot more damage because while in the air, you are very vulnerable because, like I said, you're not able to earthbend. So once you throw this earth wall, you can do, I think, 4 things. You can do earth hammer, you could dash, you could block, and you could crash. That's it. Once you throw that earth wall, that's it. So if you are an aerial player, you need to get good at dashing and parrying. Because if you do not, you will not win, ever. You will go up in the air and every player will just absolutely destroy you because you can't block a fire laser, you can't block the fire sun, you can't block the bows, you can't block waves, you can't block ice walls, you can't block air slashes, air balls, you can't block anything, so you're just going to be getting destroyed in the air. And so I definitely suggest learning how to block and parry and knowing when to crash and not. Because I see a lot of times people will throw it up and they'll instantly come down. I just charge up a spear and the second they land I hit them. Or, even better, throw a trap. Hit them 4 times, throw up a wall. Throw up a wall. And then back off and they just took damage for free. So I would also heavily suggest getting good at throwing earth hammers because, like I said, you really can't do much in the air, and so once that earth wall is gone, earth hammer is your best friend. And like I said, it deals really good damage. Like, honestly, it probably deals one of the most, and is really good for aerial players to learn because that's like your secondary source of damage. First one obviously being walls, which you also need to be really good at throwing because, you know, while you're in the air, that's how you play aerial. You're going to be holding your wall until you're ready to strike. Or, in some cases I've learned it is actually better to just hold it and then hit them with it. Like, if I'm really close to an airbender and he goes up with me, I can slam him with this and then throw it. Not all the time. You have to throw it immediately, which is something I see a lot of earthbenders that are playing aerial do so much. and it pains me when they jump up and instantly throw their wall. It is an absolute waste because you have this entire fall for me to just throw rocks, go up after you. I can do that too and hit you with the earth wall twice. So just don't throw your wall away instantly unless it is a case where you have gotten good at throwing an earth wall and dashing back down immediately. Or it's a case where like you see the opportunity arise where like you build a wall and he's still on the ground and he is just not paying attention. Might be good to do that. Or you can just chuck one and be in the air like jump, which will go into the aerial obliterator trait. So that's how you play aerial. There's gonna be a lot of jumping towards them, getting a wall up in the air, and then hitting them with the Z wall, and then throwing hammers at them. That's really how you play air. You're gonna be a lot more offensive. You're not gonna have as much defense. So I would also suggest when you're playing aerial, don't do this. Never ever do this. Like, you see how the second I land, I immediately go back up into the air? You will die so fast because they'll just go, oh, I can just strike him when he's in the air. So definitely when you're playing either one, ground or aerial, play a little bit of the other one. So if I'm playing ground, maybe go up a once in a while and throw a wall. Maybe if I'm playing ground, or I'm playing aerial, throw up a couple walls, block things, and then go up with a wall and hit them over it. Or, better yet, after you land, stay down. Stay down for a second. Look what they're doing. Hit them with maybe a rock and then go up. Only go up when you know you can hit them. Or don't go up only when you know you can hit them. Go up when you know that there's a chance that you're going to hit them. Because if there's no chance, then why are you in the air? That just gives them a free shot at you. Now, after covering the general playstyle of Earth, and then the two main playstyles, and then obviously lava, try out lava. I'm not going to go over it just because, once again, I don't play it enough to really understand it fully. We're going to go into techniques and ultimates. So for the main two playstyles, which are aerial and ground, aerial, honestly, I know a lot of people are like, try out all of them. I would say definitely try out all of them. But if you're playing aerial, you need an aerial obliterator. 50% wall damage while in the air. That is insane. Like, this earth wall, fully uncharged, if I just bonk him with that, that's 4.5 bars. That is so good. And then charged, even better. Throw that out, bonk him. That is, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, like 7.5 bars? That is so good. That is a ton of damage. And once again, if you're playing aerial, you're not really going to be hitting people with earth walls on the ground just because you're in the air most of the time. So I definitely use that. And then this one, personal preference, fleet dexterity. While you're in the air, once again, don't have many options, especially for movement. So dashing is going to be good. And just having that third dash is going to be nice because if you get in like a an intense battle where you are like you're trying to retreat and they're just not backing off and they are throwing stuff left and right and they are like no time to parry or anything. You don't have your ultimate yet, so you're not good at parrying. Dashing is going to be nice. Although you could also use double-edged for even more damage, which would be crazy if you were to use this. Just once again, just for a demonstration, that's pretty much their health gone. Like, that's what, 8.5 bars? Like, that is a crazy amount of damage. 75% extra damage is going to be really great for you. You're going to lose out on health, though, which might not be the best. And then for ground, honestly, all these are for ground. Stone Stance, you're going to take less damage, or you're going to have less knockback and deal more damage, and you're going to be a little bit slower while on the ground. But honestly, 20% walk speed is not a ton. So, yeah. Tremor Sense, I don't know. I have used it once, and I didn't like it. Your Earth Trap and Earth Spikes do deal more damage, so these are going to be dealing tons of damage. And you can also see people through walls. So I would assume the playstyle would be like pull up a wall, see them through it, and then like hit them with earth spikes, or like maybe even 4. I don't know why you would do that. That'd be a terrible idea. But just saying, I mean, you could. You definitely could. I would never, because like if I'm a fire player, bro, that is prime blasting, bro. Like I'm going to get up in their face and I'm just gonna start just throwing out suns, throw out fire bursts. Like they are going to die. It is gonna be game over for them. I will say, Tremor Sense could be good just for finding people. And then the mountain, your earth boulders are 30% larger, so easier to hit. I don't think that there's actually any damage buff from that. Oh, okay, so there's a tiny bit. Wait, actually. Yeah, okay, so like barely any. But it will make them easier to hit, and mess people up, because they'll be like, wait, is that charged or is that uncharged? Also, like, the size of the spear, you're going to be hitting that way more, and the saw, if you want to do, like, the UFO thing, that's also going to be a lot easier with this. Oh, like, earth wall is just going to be better for that, if you want to, like, kind of fly away. So the mountain's also good. Other ground ones, if you want to go really tanky, you could go Vital Discipline, just extra health, and you could do, like, I don't know. You could do this one. Just be better. Now we're going to go on to ultimates. Me personally, I don't like the ultimates. I don't like either of them. They're both pretty bad in my opinion. Just because, like, this may seem awesome and it deals so much damage. But you see how much time you have to move? Like, let's just do a little demonstration. Like, let's say I summon this. It's coming right at me. Ah! Oh. I'm all the way over here. Like, in the time it starts falling, I can be way out of there. And this is true with every element. Like, I could go through every element and show you exactly, like, it's not good. You're never... The only time it's good is if, like, circle's closing in and you want to force people to take damage, because they're going to go outside it, because it deals so much damage. And then Death Trap, which... This one is not good. It is not good. You pop it up, deals extra damage. It's mad. Alright, so now that we've gone over ultimates, I think that is all. Oh, tips and tricks. That's right. Okay, we're going to go really fast through these, because I think this video is going to be quite long. Tips and tricks. Definitely do mix-ups when you're jumping. Don't always go straight up. Going straight up can get you killed a lot more. Other tips, don't get too aggressive. Because Earth, as you can see, is good at like medium range, so don't be too aggressive. Other tips, once again, get good at parrying. Parrying is gonna be your absolute best friend, and dashing. Both of those are gonna be great. Other tips and tricks. Oh, stasis. Okay, we're gonna quickly learn wall stasis. So you're gonna pull up a wall, and you're gonna detach it, hold it with both hands, and the second you let go, re-grab it with one hand, and you'll know you'll do it. Like, when I say like instant, I mean like boom. Like, you see how fast that dot disappears and reappears? That's how fast you want to do this. And you know you do it when your earth wall stops, when it just stops moving. It won't like fully stop most of the time. It'll do like that. And this is great for redirection, because I can do that and I can throw it out again. Or, oh, I didn't grab it that time. I could throw it out and then they move and I throw it. This is the same with everything. You can do this with all of the items, or all the moves, that are projectile based, including like all the other elements. So that's stasis. And then, yeah, I will say tips and tricks. Keep your ultimate for instant parries. It's just easier. It's really just easier. Because both of the ultimates, they're just not good. Like Death Trap, no one is getting caught in that. If I see like rumbling, I can be like, oh, okay, well, I'm out of it now. You're like, oh, what if they cancel? Well, then they cancel and I can hit them. Like, I go, oh crap, okay, well, now you just took damage. Like, it's not good. I would not use the ultimates. I would just hold on to it for instant parrying. So yeah, I think that is all I wanted to go over. Leave in the comments if I missed anything. And next up, I'll be doing fire, so stay tuned for that. And I will see you all in the next one.